Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Aladeva Mai Subhadra Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Stotra Tatarsimangas Bhakti Siddhanta Sasitakur Shila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ISKCON BBT Founder Shila Prabhupada ki Namacharya Shila Das Thakur ki Prem Sikal Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shir Vedic Radha Chilasi Goda Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopinash Ankun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan ki Rajabhumi Vrindavan Dhama ki Mayapur Navadvip Dhama ki Purushottam Kshetra Jagannath Puri Dhama ki Shri Kurukshetra Dhama ki Rangamai ki Amanamai ki Bhakti Devi ki Srimati Tulsi Marwani Vrinda Devi ki Most Merciful Lordship Shri Radha Kunj Bihari ki Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhada Mai ki Shri Gaurnitai ki Srila Prabhupada ki Most auspicious upcoming Kartik Mahotsav festival ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Gaura Premanande All glories to the Samudavati All glories to the Samudavati All glories to the Samudavati All glories to Shishi Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna. No, it's just nice. Hare Krishna. So, thank you for this opportunity to be with all of you today here in Round Rock. I feel at home because I'm seeing most beautiful Shri Radha Kunj Bihari. So beautiful. And of course, my home deities in Detroit are Shri Radha Kunj Bihari. So thank you all for coming today. So I've been asked to speak today on the glories of Kartik. This Kartik Mahotsav is a very wonderful time of the year, so we'll discuss today some glories. I thought we would start by reading just a verse from Bhagavad Gita so that we can hear a little bit from Srila Prabhupada to prepare our mood for understanding the glories of Kartik. We'll just start with a brief Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya So I thought I'd read today a very popular verse. I'm sure most of you or many of you know. This is coming from Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 4 entitled Transcendental Knowledge, verse number 8. I'll just read the Sanskrit translation and a little bit of the purport since it's a long purport. Paritanaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkatam dharma samstapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. 4:8. According to the Bhagavad Gita, a sadhu, holy man, is a man in Krishna consciousness. A person may appear to be irreligious, but if he has the qualifications of Krishna consciousness wholly and fully, he is to be understood to be a sadhu. A dushkritam applies to those who do not care for Krishna consciousness. Such miscreants or dushkritam are described as foolish and the lowest of mankind, even though they may be decorated with mundane education. Whereas a person who is 100% engaged in Krishna consciousness is accepted as a sadhu, even though such a person may be neither learned nor well-cultured. As far as the atheistic are concerned, it is not necessary for the Supreme Lord to appear as he is to destroy them, as he did with demons Ravan and Kamsa. The Lord has many agents who are quite competent to vanquish demons, but the Lord especially descends to appear to his unalloyed devotees, to appease, his unalloyed devotees, who are always harassed by the demoniac. The demon harasses the devotee even though the latter may happen to be of his kin. Although Prahlad Maharaj was the son of Hiranyakashipu, he was nonetheless persecuted by his father. Although Devaki, the mother of Krishna, was the sister of Kamsa, she and her husband Vasudeva were persecuted only because Krishna was born of them. So Lord Krishna appeared primarily to deliver Devaki rather than kill Kamsa. But both were performed simultaneously. Therefore it is said that to deliver devotees and vanquish demons and miscreants, the Lord appears in different incarnations. So I'll just end there since it's a little bit of a long purport. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanstra Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Rindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Paramami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So once again, thank you all for coming today to the Sunday Feast program here at ISKCON Round Rock. Very happy to be here with all of you and this opportunity to speak about Kartik Mahotsav. So, how many of you are hearing about Kartik Mas Damodar month for the first time? Anybody? Okay. So everybody is veterans, fully aware of this great opportunity we have in front of us. First time? Great. Great. All right. So to some extent I also know, not much, but I've read a lot, so I'll share from that. Deal? So Kartik month starts tomorrow. So it's a perfect opportunity for us to prepare for this great month. And so what we'll discuss today are why Kartik Mas is so celebrated, why it's so important, and then importantly, how we can take advantage of this great opportunity, how we can observe Kartik Mas. And so we'll discuss, because if we're presented with a great opportunity, but we don't utilize it, it's considered wasted, right? We tell our children, you've been given a gift, don't waste it. So we are also been given and are going to be given an extraordinary opportunity to make progress in our spiritual life. And so we'll discuss about how to take advantage of this Kartik Mas. Okay? So Krishna says in this Bhagavad Gita, this verse, Paritanayam sadhanam vishnashayam dushkritam dharma samstapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. The verse we read. He said he comes to this planet millennium after millennium to protect the sadhus, to destroy the miscreants, and to reestablish the principles of religion. And for that purpose he comes yuge yuge, millennium after millennium. But actually our acharyas comment on a more deeper meaning into why Krishna comes. Because as to kill some demons, why Krishna has to come himself? He doesn't have to come himself. He could just, by enjoying in the spiritual world, send one heart attack to the demon and gone, poof, done. Send one lightning bolt, no problem. So does he really have to come to destroy the miscreants? No, he doesn't need to come. Even to deliver the sadhus, he is protecting all the time. So why he has to specifically come just to deliver the sadhus? He has given all shastra, all processes of worship. He is manifested in the Archa Vigraha, deity form. So he doesn't need to come to do that. Dharma samstapanarthaya, to re-establish the principles of religion. He has given Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, all Shastras, and he can send so many of his great lieutenants in his army, like Srila Prabhupada, to re-establish. So does he really need to come for that? So our acharyas comment that Krishna comes primarily for one reason. One reason. To enjoy with his devotees. To enjoy with his devotees. Now we may ask, well, wait a minute. Why he's enjoying with his devotees in the spiritual world? Yes, that is true. But Krishna also likes to sometimes go on holiday. Right? We may be living in paradise like Round Rock, but still we like to go and see some new place. So like that, Krishna also likes to come to the material world. And here he performs very unique pastimes that he can enjoy with his devotees. So when Krishna says to those, he puts out in the WhatsApp message, hey, I'm going to the material world. All the residents, many residents of the spiritual world say, hey, we're coming with you. Don't forget us. So they also come. And they come. And they have very sweet pastimes they enjoy. So this is the real purpose why. And when Krishna does that, we, as conditioned souls, as sadhakas, aspiring devotees, we observe, get to see, how is it that Krishna enjoys with his devotees? If I am going to commit my life to spiritual life, I should know what is the result of that, right? Like if I'm going to commit my life to the practice of studying medicine, I should know, well, what's in it for the doctor who graduates? What's there, and is that what I want? Right? That's pretty good analysis. So we should not pursue our spiritual life even blindly. We should do some analysis. Hey, if I do the things that I'm being asked to do that's given in Shastra, what is the result? So Krishna comes and he shows what is the experience of those who have perfected their spiritual life. How do they enjoy? Are they happy? Are they unhappy? What is the type of their enjoyment? And so he performs many of these pastimes. And they end up in our Shastra. It's one of the reasons why Srila Prabhupada, even before he completed translation of Srimad Bhagavatam, what he finished first? Krishna. Krishna. Because he thought, he came to the US with first canto. He said, if I don't get to the Krishna's pastimes, let me at least leave them in a narration format, so that we would know what is life like in the spiritual world. What is life like when we become the inner circle of Krishna's devotees? And by knowing that, we'll become inspired to practice steadfastly, day in and day out. Why does the aspiring doctor study so hard in school? Because they are faith and confidence in the end result. So similarly, to build our enthusiasm in our day-to-day practice of spiritual life, Krishna comes and shows these pastimes to us. So he comes to enjoy with his devotees, and we get to observe and use that as inspiration. And in these next 30 days, starting tomorrow, there is no better time than to buckle our chin straps, double down our efforts, and really become steadfast in our spiritual practice. Because if we do, we're going to see today what benefits await us. Okay? Everyone's ready to know what the benefits await us these next 30 days? Okay. We're just ready for prashadam. Okay. So, we know that Krishna possesses 64 primary opulences or qualities. He has unlimited in total, but these principal qualities. Right? So we know that Lord Vishnu has 60 qualities, Shivji has 55, and the humans, up to Lord Brahma, have 50. So as we go progressive, so 50 to 55 with Lord Shivji, 60 with Lord Vishnu. And Krishna has 4 exclusive qualities. And these qualities are, 1, this Rupa Madhuri. He is a beauty that is not found anywhere. Extraordinary, beautiful form. He has his Venu Madhuri, this flute that makes a transcendental sound that captures anyone who hears it. The birds in Vrindavan, when they are flying, and they hear the sound vibrations of Krishna's flute, they just stop. They become frozen. They cannot flap their wings. They're just completely overwhelmed. The calves who are drinking milk from the cows just stop, and the milk is dripping from their mouths. Even the rivers who are flowing just stop. And the stones in the walkway, they start moving. So what is animate, what is moving, becomes still. And what is still starts shaking and moving. So overwhelmed by the transcendental sound of Krishna's flute. So this is the second of his unique qualities. The third is that he has an extraordinarily special relationship with his devotees. Krishna's relationships with his devotees are so sweet and so spectacular and profound that when we study them, they just captivate our heart and mind. And we want to become one of Krishna's friends. So this is the third of his unique qualities. And the fourth is his Lila Madhuri, his pastimes. Krishna's pastimes are out of this world, literally. So sweet and beautiful and very, very powerful. So these 4 unique qualities make Krishna the complete reservoir of all attractive qualities. Everything actually that we find attractive in this world, different things, different personalities, different people, different foods, all of those attractive qualities, where do they reside in full? Within Krishna. Which by definition means that Krishna is our supreme attractable personality. Okay? So, in this month of Kartik, Krishna performs many, many very unique pastimes. And Krishna is so eager to have all of us come back to Him as quickly as possible. He makes extraordinarily special blessings during this month of Kartik. Why? Because He wants to. He is the Supreme Lord. He gets to pick. And He says, in this month, so many special blessings are there. In our Shastra it says, I'm going to read a few quotes here. This is from the Skanda Puran. That as Satyuga is the best of the Yuga, as the Vedas are the best of the scriptures, as Ganga is the best of the rivers, so Kartik is the best of months, the most dear to Lord Krishna. Again, that comes from the Skanda Puran. So this Kartik Mas is the best month of the year to perform spiritual practice. And it's a month in which what we do is multiplied many times. What we do today has great value. Extraordinary value. We cannot even quantify the value. But what we do tomorrow and for the subsequent month has many, many, many more times value than the same action performed today. And that's the special feature of this Kartik month. Srila Prabhupada used to compare it to a store. A store will have so many goods, but when it has a sale, a big sale, you can go into the store with a little bit of money and walk out with lots of things. Similarly, whatever we do during this month of Kartik in spiritual life, we will walk out with extraordinary gains, far more than we do any other time of the year. So we've all assembled here in a very opportune time to prepare ourselves to take advantage of this great sale that Krishna is giving to all of us, and an opportunity to bring us closer to Him through the practice. So how to do it and what to do, we must follow the rules of Shastra to take advantage. So that's what we'll discuss today. So let me share a few more glories of Kartik just to get us really convinced that this is an unbelievable opportunity. I'll read a few quotes. This is from the Padma Puran. It says, "The Lord may offer liberation or material happiness to a devotee, but after some devotional service has been executed, particularly in Mathura, during the month of Kartik, the devotees only want to attain pure devotional service unto the Lord." This pure devotional service to the Lord is the prime benediction for humanity. It is the greatest of all achievements. But that is not yet manifested in our heart as our number one goal. So by doing devotional service during this month of Kartik, that desire will manifest in the heart. We talked a little bit about the importance of having a very intense desire yesterday in our seminar. So this Kartik Mas is a way to ignite that desire in our heart. Again from the Padma Puran. "Among all 12 months, the month of Kartik is dear to Lord Krishna. If somebody performs a little worship of Lord Sri Hari in this month, he offers that devotee his own abode." That statement is true. See this verse from Padma Puran. It says that statement is true because we may doubt. Krishna is going to give us His own house? Any of you will give your own house to somebody? No. But Krishna, to those who perform some devotional service. And it says if somebody performs even a little worship in the month of Kartik, Krishna's giving his whole abode. Now that's a bargain. Anybody wants that bargain? Oh, just me? Okay. How about from the Skanda Purana? If even for a short time somebody burns a lamp in the temple of Lord Sri Hari, we'll be offering lamps, then whatever sins they have acquired for millions of kalpas, one kalpa is equal to, as it says, 1,000 yugas. So 1,000,000 times 1,000. Any mathematicians can do that. Billions. Billions of yugas. Whatever sins we have accumulated. Whoosh, gone. With the offering of one lamp. How potent it is to offer a lamp during this month of Kartik. So we'll talk a lot about that in a little bit. Want some more evidence of the glories of Kartik? The pious results obtained by bathing in all holy places, giving all charities, is not equal to 1/10,000,000th. 1 divided by 10 million. I don't know how small that is, but it's small. The result obtained by following the vow of Kartik. How powerful this Kartik Vrat is. We'll talk about the Kartik Vrat and how to observe. I'm going to skip a few just in the interest of time. All holy places, yagyas, dakshinas, residence in Pushkar, Kurukshetra, and the Himalayas, and all giving in charity a pile of gold as high as Mount Meru, reside in the month of Kartik, Lord Krishna's favorite month. No month is like Kartik. No yuga is like Satyug. No scripture is like the Vedas. No holy place is like the Ganga. So these are all different glories of Kartik month. So we're convinced there is so much benefit to be gained by even a little worship during this month of Kartik. What to say if we really put forth our effort? Extraordinary fortune awaits us. So, what happens during this month? Why it's so special to Krishna? So during this month of Kartik, so many of Krishna's amazing pastimes take place. So during this coming weeks, you will be hearing in detail about so many of Krishna's amazing pastimes. Remember, this Lila Madhuri is one of his unique special qualities. And so I thought I would just give a brief glimpse of some of the tenets of these different pastimes, just to prepare ourselves to hear in detail and to develop some eagerness to know more about these that are coming in the next few weeks, so that we can take advantage. Because, we know that Krishna performed these pastimes all during this month. It must be very happy and time, a very special time for him. So what's his most famous pastime during the month of Kartik? Damodar Leela. Everybody knows, right? The Dama Bandhana pastime. And so, what's the name of Krishna's mother in Vraj? Yashoda. So Yashoda means the giver of fame. Yashoda gave fame to Krishna. What? How? Krishna has all fame. What fame Mother Yashoda gave to Krishna? She gave the fame to Krishna that Krishna is conquered. The incomparable Supreme Personality of Godhead is conquerable by the love of his devotees. So Mother Yashoda, by binding Krishna with the ropes of her love, is able to conquer even the inconquerable. This is like the most extraordinary pastime, where you'll see how Krishna himself surrenders to his mother. You know, fear personified, Yamaraj, is in fear of Krishna. But Krishna becomes fearful of Mother Yashoda holding a small stick. He is vanquishing giant demons left and right. But when Mother Yashoda shows a small stick, he begins to cry and shake and tremble. And this is no drama. This is the inner feeling that Krishna is experiencing, invoked by the Vatsalya Bhav, the motherly love of Mother Yashoda. So bhakti is so powerful that it can even bring the Supreme Lord into her mind. This is the mystical understanding that Krishna reveals through his Dhamma-bandhana pastime. So Mother Yashoda is known as the giver of fame, specifically to how Krishna even surrenders to his love. Because Krishna tells us in Bhagavad Gita, what is the principal instruction Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gita at the very end? What must we do? Surrender unto Krishna. Right? Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshami ma suchaha. He says, you surrender unto me. But he says you surrender only unto me. And the foolish, the egoist will think, oh, that's nice of Krishna to say. Yeah, you surrender unto me. Who wouldn't say that? But actually, when one surrenders exclusively to Krishna, Krishna himself surrenders to his devotee. Who wins in that exchange? What we can surrender to Krishna, or what Krishna can surrender to us? Who has more to surrender? The Lord. But this is the loving relationship that we get from this pastime. We see the pastime of Govardhan Hill, lifting of Govardhan, right? Very mystical. You ever wonder that Krishna is lying in one of his expansions of expansions of expansions, not even Krishna himself. But Krishna, through his expansions, as Karandakshay Vishnu, is lying on an ocean, the Karan ocean, and entire universes are just emanating from his pores. How many of us go to the office, just lie down, and work emanates from our pores? Anybody? We all wish, right? But Mahavishnu is just lying there. And universes are being created. Not one or two. Unlimited number of universes. And within each universe, millions of planets. And within each of those planets, so much huge land. And then within that huge land, there's this one small district called Vraj, Vrindavan. And there, one cloud has come and is putting torrents of rain. Why he had to go and lift a hill? He could have just went and cloud would have gone. Right? What's the deal? He could have just asked Anantashesh, hey, come and just cover Braj and this cloud, let it rain on your heads. So many ways he could have dissipated this little cloud, tiny. It's big compared to us. You know, when we see the description, these columns of rain were falling. You know, I understand you have hail here, and it sometimes can be quite dangerous. Well, the hail that was falling in Vrindavan was like many times huge boulders of hail was falling. So dangerous, but relative to Krishna's position, it's nothing. So why he went through the process of for 7 days lifting Govardhan Hill? Why? The reason, see, Krishna has only one mission in life. And that is to fulfill the desires of his devotees. Whatever his devotees want, Krishna is the most eager to fulfill. And what is the only mission of his devotees? To fulfill the desires of Krishna. So when the devotee is exclusively focused on whatever makes Krishna happy, I'm willing to do, Krishna is saying, no, me too. Whatever makes you happy, I want to do. So the residents of Vrindavan had one lamentation. That Krishna had broken up his leelas. It's called Astakaliya Leela. His leelas are broken up into 8 parts. So Mother Yashoda, when she dresses Krishna in the morning, right, she would bathe him and dress him. And then you know what she would do? She would take everything off and put another outfit on. And then she would decorate and dress him. And then you know what she would do? She would take that clothes off and do again. And then again. And what is she doing? She's just stalling. Because who's knocking on the window? All the cowherd boys. Krishna, Krishna, come on, it's time to go to the forest, it's time to go to the forest. And Mother Yashoda is lamenting. Krishna is going to be in the forest. I won't be able to see him. I won't have darshan of his beautiful chubby cheeks, his curly hair, his shark-shaped earrings. We'll see all this in Damodarastakam. So I can't have... So she would just be stalling. And the cowherd boys are banging on the windows and jumping, grabbing Krishna by the ear. Let's go, let's go. So everyone in Vrindavan is like competing. And so the boys are enjoying in the forest away from all the parents, right? Nobody likes to see wants to play with the parents looking. So they're enjoying in the forest. But then they know as the sun comes down, it's time to go home. And on the way home, all the boys would sing all the beautiful activities that Krishna did on this particular day. And like this, they would relish. And the elderly residents of Vrindavan would go to the rooftops and they're seeing, I see the dust cloud rising. That means Krishna and the cowherd boys must be coming back. And so Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba, they're all anxiously awaiting. And so they would get Krishna. So like this, they would be, everyone's trading off their time with Krishna. So they all said, why I don't get uninterrupted darshan? So Krishna said, okay, fine. So why he lifts Govardhan Hill? He could have again protected so many means. But by lifting Govardhan Hill, what happened? All the residents of Vrindavan came and they got this 7 days, 7 nights, uninterrupted darshan and association with Krishna, fulfilling their desire. Now you can imagine how mystical Krishna is, that he is seated, standing in the middle of Govardhan Hill. And all the residents are around, right? So we know. That means some people might be in front, some people might be in back, some on side, some might be in the front row, some might be very far back needing binoculars to see. But every single resident of Vrindavan, standing under Govardhan, was having a face-to-face, front row darshan of Krishna. How is that possible? This is the mystic opulence of Krishna. Sometimes we wonder, with billions and trillions and unlimited number of living entities, if I go back to the spiritual world, will Krishna have time for me? Yes, that happens in the material world, right? If there are 4 or 5 people in a friend group, there's always a competition for friends' time, and this person's spending more time with them, not with me. Krishna has a direct, one-to-one personal relationship with everyone. His relationship with you does not affect the relationship with you, and so on. Everybody has an uninterrupted, full relationship. And he showed this in this Govardhan pastime, where everyone had a front row seat. Materially it's not possible, but spiritually everything is possible, Krishna. And so Krishna fulfilled the desires of his devotees. So he lifted Govardhan not to subvert this Samvartaka cloud, but to give happiness and pleasure to his devotees. Gopashtami, another very wonderful festival we'll celebrate during the month of Kartik. Gopashtami was the time, the day in which Krishna graduates, from being the caretaker of the cows, from a Vatsapal to Gopal, the caretaker of the cows. So it was a very festive and extraordinary time. The cowherd boys were the most ecstatic. Why? Because when they have to graze the calves, they have to stay within like sight distance of the home. But when they have to go grazing for the cows, where do they get to go? Deep into the forest. And who's not present deep into the forest? Mom and dad. So boys are happy, because then they can do all their nonsense and nobody can see. So all the cowherd boys were waiting years for this day to come, when Krishna would be given the charge of taking the cowherd boys, the cowherds, to the forest. And it was the most anticipated day. And finally this day came, and everyone was excited. And it's a beautiful pastime. I'm sure you'll all narrate in a couple of weeks. But Krishna starts taking the cowherds to the forest, and all the cowherd boys are jumping a mile high in ecstasy. And then Krishna was lamenting. I wish Srimati Radharani could be here today. And Subal Sakha, one of Krishna's dearmost friends, he says, oh, Krishna wants to see Srimati Radharani? I will go and get her. And how he goes and gets her? He goes, and they have very similar features for some other reasons. And so he goes and trades places with Srimati Radharani. He gives her his dhoti, turban, horn, everything, stick. And so Radharani leaves her household undetected. Everybody thinks it's Subal Sakha. And Srimati Radharani goes. And Krishna enjoys this pastime with him. But who didn't get to enjoy? Subal Sakha. He was stuck hiding in the home of Srimati Radharani, away from all the friends. This most anticipated day. And he was left out. Was he unhappy? Was he wishing he was there? No. This is the unconditional love of Krishna's devotees. That their only desire is what makes Krishna happy. Of course, Subal Sakha wanted to be with all the cowherds. But what he wanted more was Krishna's happiness. And he felt so much happiness knowing that by his seva, Krishna was happy being reunited with his beloved Srimati Radharani. So in this Gopashtami pastime we see, in Govardhan pastime, how Krishna does whatever his devotees want. In Gopashtami we see his devotees do what Krishna wants. This is the beautiful reciprocal love of Krishna and his devotees. So anyways, these are some of the pastimes. Anybody know in Vrindavan, in our ISKCON temple, what is the most celebrated festival during Kartik? Anybody want to guess? Huh? Deepavali? Govardhan? Bhishma Pancha? All good. Ekadashi? We'll talk about that. Nope. Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day. This is a 3-day epic festival. Our founder Acharya, who without his presence in our lives, we had no idea about the glories of Kartik, about how to practice spiritual life, how to find, shelter in this material world. And he left this planet during Kartik Mas. And so it is a huge festival, beautiful festival that takes place in Vrindavan during this month of Kartik. So anyway, so these are many different aspects of Kartik. So let us now transition in the time we have left to talk about how to observe Kartik. Everyone ready now? How are we going to take advantage of this great opportunity? Okay. So I'm going to read a few more verses. So this is from the Skanda Purana. It says, specifically in the month of Damodar, Kartik, one should daily worship Lord Damodar, Krishna, and take bath early in the morning, give charity, and follow a fasting vow. This is the duty of Vaishnavas. So we're going to talk about observing Kartik in a few different ways. We'll talk about the glories of offering a lamp. We'll talk about reciting Damodar Astakam, about chanting our japa, worshipping Tulsi Marani, and a few other things. So let's start with offering a lamp, maybe the most popular thing that we do. So let us share. I'll share a few different glories of what it means to offer a lamp in the month of Kartik. So I think I gave one already, right? What sins one accumulates in millions of kalpas is eliminated by one lamp. Please hear, this is from the Padma Puran, the glories of offering a lamp during the month of Kartik. An offering that is very pleasing to Lord Keshava, the king, O king of Brahmanas. A person who offers a lamp in this way will not take birth again in this world. Next verse. By offering a lamp during the month of Kartik, one attains the pious results 10 million times greater than the results obtained by bathing at Kurukshetra during a solar eclipse, or by bathing in the river Narmada during the lunar eclipse. 10 million times. A person who offers lamp burning with ghee or sesame oil, what is the use of performing the Ashwamedha Yajna? We read so much about this Ashwamedha Yajna in Srimad Bhagavatam. Offering one lamp in this is even more greater. Even if there are no mantras, no pious deeds, no purity, everything becomes perfect when a person offers a lamp during the month of Kartik. A person who during the month of Kartik offers a lamp to Lord Keshav has already performed all yajnas and bathing in all holy rivers. No need to book your tickets, get your passport ready, and travel. Just one lamp. So how many of us would like to offer a lamp every day in the month of Kartik? These are extraordinary benefits. Srila Prabhupada shares of a story, and Sanatan Goswami comments on this story of the mouse. This comes from the Padma Puran and the Kartika Mahatmya. So there was once a mouse, and he had this habit of enjoying the ghee that was there left over in the burnt out ghee wicks. So one day he was feeling a little extra hungry. Maybe Ekadashi was the day before, so he was breaking his Dwadashi fast, I don't know. In whatever mouse Samhita exists. And so the mouse was saying that the fire was just about to go out. But he got too anxious and he bit into the ghee wick. And we know mice have two teeth, right? And there's a little gap there. And unfortunately the wick got caught right in the middle of this gap. And then his lips started to burn. And so he started to jump around. And he's jumping around. And sadly, the mouse died. But Krishna, seeing the mouse, he saw the mouse as offering a lamp. And he awarded liberation to this mouse. So even if we jump around and offer not knowing what we are doing, Krishna is pleased. So what to imagine if with a little softness in our heart, we offer a lamp with some sincerity, what result we'll get. So during this month of Kartik, invite all of your friends, all of your neighbors, even all of your enemies. You shouldn't have enemies, but even if you don't, bring them and light a lamp for Lord Damodar. So much benefit awaits. But anybody want to know something even more beneficial than lighting a lamp in Kartik? Okay, nobody wants to know. I'll move on. Okay. This comes from the Padma Puran. Now they're going to do a race for this. By serving the Vaishnavas and lighting the lamps they offer during the month of Kartik, one attains the results of performing many Rajasuya and Ashwamedha Yajnas. So if you light the lamp for somebody who lights and offers, you are given huge benefit. So imagine if you invite some friends to your home and you light a lamp and give to them, how much benefit do you get? And actually it said that he who washes the pot that was used to offer the lamp also is given that same benefit. So very, very powerful. So the first thing that we're going to do every day during the month of Kartik is offer a lamp to our beloved Lord Damodar, Shri Shri Radha Kunj Bihari. So make this your daily commitment. Next, these are not in any particular order, but it is explained that we should recite the Damodar Astakam. Satyavrata Muni has composed these very beautiful 8 prayers of Damodar Astakam, which express the mature consciousness of the devotee of Krishna. And so it's a very beautiful song. It's most beautiful in my opinion. So sweet. And when very talented kirtaniyas sing, it is like, takes you to a whole other world. So enjoy reading and reciting Shri Damodar Astakam. But one idea that this year you try, you read the translations every day. Because what are we saying when we sing Namam Ishwaram Sachidananda Rup? What does that mean? Vasat Kunda. What am I singing? So read the translations. Because this will unlock what is the mood of Satyavrata Muni in composing this Damodar Astakam. And we'll see a very wonderful mood of prayer. I don't care for any benediction. I don't want anything. I just want to behold the beautiful, darshan of my Bala Gopal and his shark-shaped earrings and his curly hair and his bimba-like, reddish lips. All these beautiful things are described in Damodar Astakam. But unless we, are great Sanskrit scholars, read the translation so we understand this beautiful purport of Damodar Astakam. So reading Damodar Astakam is most important. And what's the most important thing we're going to do, even more important than lighting a lamp or reading Damodar Astakam during Kartik Mas? Chant our japa very nicely. Chanting the holy names is most powerful during this month of Kartik. So make a sincere effort. We're going to talk about Kartik vows here in a few minutes, but in one of the vow categories will be something in our chanting. So wherever you are in your chanting, if you are not chanting at all today, no problem. Tomorrow is the day to start. Start today so you get practice for tomorrow, but start chanting. If you're already chanting, you're not off the hook. Work on improving the quality of our chanting. Try to rise a little earlier in the morning. Try to chant with more attentiveness, more sincerity, more enthusiasm. But make some commitment to improve and increase our chanting of japa. This is the most wonderful way to observe Kartik. Some other ways, worshipping Tulsi Maharani, very, very auspicious. To circumambulate Tulsi Maharani during the month of Kartik. So, if you're not worshipping as a temple every day, at least in your home, you should do Tulsi Puja every day during this month of Kartik. Very, very auspicious, very, very powerful way to obtain the blessings of Kartik Mas. There are 2 Ekadashis in the month of Kartik. We observe Ekadashis, but especially these 2 Ekadashis, observe them as strictly and as perfectly as possible. Particularly the Uttan or the Prabodhini Ekadashi, the second Ekadashi. I think it's November 1st this time in the calendar. There's one, I'll read one verse. This is also in the Skanda Puran. It says, O Narada Muni, one who fasts on Prabodhini when the Lord gets up, Ekadashi, does not enter again into the womb of another mother. Therefore, a person should give up all varieties of occupation and fast on this particular Ekadashi day. So the 2 Ekadashis during Kartik are very, very important, very powerful. So if you're not regularly observing Ekadashi, these 2 please observe. And if you need help, please see the local devotees. They'll help guide you how to observe what you can eat, what you cannot eat. And if not, I'm sure one of them will invite you home to their home for dinner, so you don't have to worry about it. But just whatever it takes, observe Ekadashi on these two Ekadashis during Kartik. Very, very powerful. So finally, we'll talk about this Kartik Vrat. This is a vow. And I'll read a couple of quotes. This is from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. The observance of Kartik Vrat is one of the most important things for the Vaishnavas. Simple. So this Kartik Vrat is so important and powerful. So I think we have the sheets, Prati? Yeah, so to facilitate your Kartik Vrat, we have little sheets we'll pass out here in a few minutes. And you can write your vow down, whatever you like. You close it and you put it in a box, and we'll offer to Radha Kunj Vihari and seek their blessings for you to uphold your vow for this month. My suggestion, take a picture of it because you might forget what you wrote. Krishna won't forget, but you'll forget, or I'll forget. So, write your vow. But let us meditate on what vow we might take by hearing some of the glories, and I'll give some practical tips. So in the Skanda Purana it says, other vows bring the result of a lifetime of pious deeds. But the vow of Kartik brings the result of hundreds of lifetimes of pious deeds. O King of Brahmanas, a person who simply hears the glories of Kartik vow attains the result of fasting and bathing in the sacred Akrura Tirtha. So we just bathe in Akrura Tirtha because we're hearing about the glories. Just hearing about the glories of Kartik Vrat, one gets such a benefit. By following Kartik Vrat, one attains the result of going on pilgrimage to Varanasi, Kurukshetra, Naimisharanya, Pushkar, and Arbuda Tirtha. So, and this goes on. In the interest of time, I'll just think. So these Kartik vows are very, very powerful. So we can make one vow related to our chanting. So that can be a vow. If I'm chanting 1 round now, I'm going to chant 2 rounds during Kartik. If I'm chanting 8 rounds now, I'm going to chant 12 rounds. If I'm chanting 16 rounds, maybe I'll chant 20 rounds. But some vow related to quantity of chanting, or maybe I'm going to finish all my rounds by, 8 a.m. every day, or I'm going to rise early, or give whatever it is, some sincere vow to your chanting. So that can be your, maybe your principal vow, your vrata. Then, your second category, some maybe additional reading. Maybe I'll read, 1 chapter of Bhagavad Gita per day, or maybe I'll read 1 canto Srimad Bhagavatam during the month, or whatever it might be. You can determine what's, reason. But take some austerity. And what this austerity will cost you, some time from some other mundane activity. Trust me, we all have time. We all say, I don't have time, I'm busy with this, that, and the other. But the reality is, the requirements of our life only occupy a certain portion of our day. But the austerity will be sacrificing some time, on our WhatsApp and Facebook, some time, with some other mundane activities. I won't name them. So just, that'll be your austerity. But make some additional time for maybe some reading, maybe for some service in the temple, whatever it might be, something there. And then, one further austerity you can consider is, giving up something that you really like. So we were having some fun yesterday, sharing that I'll share. I made a very weak vow a couple years ago. I gave up sweets. Except for Radha Kunjvir Maha Sweets. So I'd recommend don't do that. That's a cheating way. Don't follow me. No, but give up something that you really enjoy as an offering of sacrifice. Right? The Lord appreciates, just like in the household, when a child sacrifices some playtime for helping mother and father, how does mother and father feel? They feel very happy and pleased. Similarly, when we as children of Krishna sacrifice something for the happiness of the Lord, he becomes very enthused. So you can consider giving up sweets or some food item that you really enjoy, or something that, don't give up like, something that's good for you, by the way. But give up something that you like. It's a way to, again, take on some austerity. And the results of completing this vow are incalculable. And so this is a very, very powerful way to observe Kartik. So just to quickly summarize, this month is the most auspicious time of the year. It's the most dear to Krishna. He performs so many of his sweet pastimes during this period of time. And it is profusely glorified in all of our Shastra about the benefits of practicing and observing Kartik. And we'll observe by offering a lamp, by reciting Damodarastakam and reading the translation, by taking some Kartik Vrat, by observing Ekadashi, and enjoying this time in spiritual life. Because remember, why Krishna came here? To enjoy with his devotees. So let us enjoy this Kartik Mas to our fullest and take full advantage of this giant sale that is taking place starting tomorrow. We all rush for Black Friday sales. We have 1 month of sale coming, so let us rush, make plans, set everything else aside next 30 days, and really relish the glories of Shri Radha Kunj Bihari. Shri Radha Kunj Bihari ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Kartik Mahotsav ki. Any questions, comments, discussion we have time for some questions? Yeah. So any questions? Anyone? Any comments? Anybody would like to offer?
Everyone is still meditating on the Kartik Vrata. What to take? It's a big decision. Are we handing those out for you? Did we announce about that? Or?
Yeah. So Prabhuji has these sheets that describes the vrata that you can choose, and then the pujaris will offer it to Radha Kunj Bihari and for their blessings. So yes. I think maybe no questions.
Let's give a huge round of applause for Nitya Krishna for that absolutely wonderful Even though Kartik is not until tomorrow or Tuesday, depending on calendar.